Warning, this video is intended for audiences who are 13 or older. If you are not 13 or older, please fuck off and tell your parents to moderate what you watch online.
3K.
It's only William. That's all that we care
Oh,
about.
hey, here. Let's use the void sword to bring back William. All right.
Oh,
let's see
God.
him.
Well, no, wait, no. The real question, no. Who's William?
I am.
I don't know William. Cue the ReZero music. Fucking, I've never heard of William.
Jesus. Here I thought this was a Spider-Man reference, but alright.
Oh, no, I mean, we could also make a fucking Heaven's Door fucking goddamn...
oh, yeah, for this fucking movie, jeez.
Yeah, it's literally Heaven's... Ooh, the JoJo's.
I feel like
the JoJo's.
I feel like it's a lot more of an overpowered Heaven's Door, right?
It's Heaven's Door mixed with a splash of Star Wars and like a little bit of fucking goddamn ReZero, but also what we're currently dealing with Revice, and just a fucking aneurysm of fucking goddamn like...
Hey, look, according to what everyone says, this is the best Saber-related media.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Correct,
it's just that it's operating on a fucking goddamn, like, what do they call it in school with the fucking, grading on a scale? Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's the best, but because there's so many
it's like what everyone says. This year is the best representation of a female Kamen Rider in Revice, you know?
Just like people saying that, I was about to say that's like people saying that Dino Fury is, like, the best series for Power Rangers, but it's like, there's some better Power Ranger series for a number of reasons, especially in terms of representation. The only thing where it actually does well is like just like straight relationship representation, and even that is like middling at best. But boy, this is like, hey, the best Saber media is a fucking whirlwind. Like,
look, if you think about it,
Christ.
after this, there's only two more Saber medias we have to do before.
No. There's one. I'm sorry. There's none. There's none. There is no more Saber after this. There cannot be any more Saber. It doesn't make sense for there to be any more Saber. They can't.
Boy, hey, if you thought this was... wait till we talk about the canon stage show that's canon.
Oh,
for the first...
That was canon, wasn't it, huh?
That is canon. That is... well, I'm going to say that when we talk about it, right? Because after this, we still have the stage show, and we still have the Beyond Generation movie, right? That features the cast of Saber and other Kamen Rider, but it's less about Saber, but it's billed as a Saber movie because it was made and premiered during Saber's run. So it's technically considered a Saber movie, even though it has nothing to do. It's more of a Kamen Rider as a franchise movie.
Austin, I'm going to ask you to stop, because that's the most confusing shit you've ever said.
Okay, look. Do you remember? How they made Captain America?
Yeah.
How they made Captain America Civil War, right?
Yeah, sure.
And it was built as a Captain America movie.
Even though it's technically an Avengers movie?
Even though it's technically an Avengers movie? That's what Kamen Rider Beyond Generation is, alright?
To be fair, most Kamen Rider transitory movies are like Civil War-esque, like, oh, hey, how can we include as many Kamen Riders as we can into this fucking... I mean, it's at least like, hey, I guess it's more fucking... No Way Home-esque of, like, multiverse of, like, oh, hey, this is my other Kamen Rider friend. I brought him along to help us on this fucking fight, even though their world shouldn't fucking exist. But, like... Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
Boy, there's a lot
Kamen Rider Decade is the Doctor Strange of the Kamen Rider universe.
I think that's
the lesson. I think that's the lesson. I think that's the lesson, and then Zeo is fucking Ned.
Okay. Yeah? I mean, yeah, he did. He did have multiverse travel in his blood, right?
I guess he had. You're a wizard, Nettie.
Yeah, God.
Oh God.
All right. Hey, so we're back into another Saber related. We can finally talk about this together as a group. Hey, this is Kamen Rider Saber, the movie Trio of Deep Sins, the movie based on Kento, the Kento movie, because it was advertised as a Kento movie with the debut of Kento's new exciting form. That will be the main focus of this movie.
Totally not a repaint of Primitive Dragon.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, by the way, this movie was 100% advertised as a Kento movie,
Really?
starring Kento, with Kento as the main character, by the way.
I'm
Kento
sorry, he was not at all.
He had some focus. He
did have focus.
If you think about it in terms of people who lost things in this movie, I think Kento lost the most. But all right, so let's. I got it.
Okay, I mean, you want to start? I mean,
No,
we have no formula with
you
this.
You start, and then I'll start therapy.
Okay, hey, look, I'll give this movie one thing. It is shot very well.
It is.
Right?
It actually looks really good, It
looks really good. Right, the movie is actually shot very well with good shots. There's a lot of good scenes. The
I don't know.
ending
Did you
is
see that
very...
one scene early on when like Toma first got to Riku and was checking on him, and there was a really bad zoom in, a really staggered zoom in shot. I wasn't sure if that was
Wait, Riku was the kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm. That's right.
remember...
He needs to find.
I'm not
Sora.
talking about Kingdom Hearts 4.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so are you saying when he first got him, when he was in the
No.
beginning?
When he was looking for him after he had protected him from our current boy. I don't want to. The Phoenix Sword. Void Swordsman. Let's say that just to differentiate.
Mm-hmm,
But when he first protected him and the dog from the Void Swordsman, and he's checking in on him. Let's see. Boy, can I find a timestamp for that? It was pretty early on.
15 minutes into, 17 minutes into the movie?
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, something around there. 17 minutes in, was it that? Oh no! Okay, so it's after 17 minutes in.
Okay,
it's when the Void Swordsman is left. Okay, I'm almost there. I've almost got it. It's somewhere around the. Oh, hold on. All right, so it's starting at 18 minutes. I'm looking in. I'm watching it. Yeah, so at around the 18-minute mark.
Okay. Yeah.
Start there to 18:20, and tell me if you notice a really weird zoom, a staggered
Oh yeah,
bit by bit.
Yeah. Oh, I see it now. I did not notice this.
Yeah, I see
that's
what
not
you
bad.
mean. Yeah, that's not good. They just use the fucking zoom in shit.
That was really clunky, and I was really mad. I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Because I'll agree, this is the certainly best produced thing that Saber has had related to it. It's had the best editing and production for it, except for that one shot where they just someone took their two thumbs and spread out the fucking iPhone that they were filming it on to fucking zoom in. Oh god.
I'm really glad we know that it's 8 years because everyone has got a haircut. That's how you know it's been 8 years.
So let's talk about that. Hey, have fun with this. It's been 8 years. It's been 8 fucking years. And here's what everybody's accomplished since then. I'm gonna leave best for last and wait until the end. All right? First, Buster, Kamen Rider Buster. Hey, he's a school teacher now.
Hey, that's a paying job now. He
yeah,
doesn't have
he's
to
got a
rely
real
on his
job.
wife to
Hey,
pay
that's
for
fine.
pay now.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's fine. Sophia, what's his name? Tetsuo and our boy Yuri. They're holding it down at the the northern base.
It might as well.
Southern base is.
I thought that boy. Hey.
Whatever. Hey. Look. Sword of Logos is whatever the Sword of Logos is. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Those three are holding down one half of Sword of Logos.
It's a hotel room that they rented out now, right?
Yeah. Sure.
It's ever changing, so that way the enemies never catch them, right? So
yeah. Much like ISIS, they continue to move around so that they can't be caught. Yeah. Anyway. Fucking goddamn. Jesus. The incest twins and Rintaro are fucking running shit like with the Sword of Logos like council or whatever. Ren is fuck all wherever he wants to be, just going off.
Same thing. Basically where he started at the end of
he's roaming the earth, being a wanderer. He's goddamn Sasukeing himself out to fucking wherever the fuck he wants to be. Fine, whatever. Mei is some level of successful editor, I guess. Sure, whatever. Let's focus on two real big things. Mm-hmm. Apparently the fucking goddamn Void Sword, aka the Phoenix... There's a lot of questions there between Phoenix Swordsman and whether or not the Void Sword, what that means of why you can get different forms, but whatever, is just stuck in some dirt. Somewhere. Yeah. Unaccounted for. Unwatched, unsupervised, untaken. It's just there. It's just there. That's where it is. Alright? That's the sword. Now to get to the meat and potatoes. In the last 8 years, Toma has abducted a child. That's not where it's going with that. He's abducted a child that happened to be outside of his bookstore that was burning, and then he went, oh, this child is scared. My bookstore is burning. I should take this child from the even though they explained, oh, he ran away from the orphanage. Okay, you couldn't give him back? You just said, I should take care of him.
Do you think he put out any legal papers as well? Or did
I don't know. He just takes him and says, call me daddy.
Everyone that Toma is supposed to be a guardian of the fucking magic book world, and he decided to come...
Oh, 100%! And also, he doesn't just take the boy... Somehow there's a dog involved, and he takes the dog too.
Oh yeah, no.
There's the amount of content that is focused on this fucking Air Bud situation is fucking wild.
Also, by the way, it's not just me. The sword was like right outside his shop, right?
I mean, it seemed like it was pretty close.
And I thought it was like off to the side.
When I look at the scene, it was like right by the bridge, and the bridge is right in front of the shop. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it really seemed like it was supposed to be
it's like in video games, right? How there's the like after the cutscene, you're supposed to enter the building, right? But if you go to the side, you find the secret item from the cutscene beforehand, right?
Yeah,
that's what it is, right?
Oh my god!
It's like the beginning of my favorite game, The Witcher 3, right? If you go back, you can find the crystal skull that was in the opening FMV intro video, right? Uh-huh. And then you can give it to Jennifer later in the game, and she'll give you context about something.
Yeah, or you could just like die in a fucking Elden Ring and then turn around once you get out there and just fucking run around and go, oh cool, there's some stuff around here at the fucking like past the first gate.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Right, yeah, no, I just like how this sword is just chilling there.
It really is, and the kid, God, the sword's powers are like put into question at this point.
Oh no, once again, these swords are inherently broken within this series, right?
Also, the fucking so we've had the Void Sword before, right? It's been here this whole fuking time.
I thought Red had the Void Sword. Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
But
really
I'm just
remember
saying.
A lot from the main series. Jeez.
I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was Disaster, whether it was Bahat or Bakht or whatever the fuck you want to say his name is. His main thing was rebirth, like a phoenix.
Yeah, he was like.
Yeah.
It wasn't fucking arson. And so apparently, like, the Phoenix sword is just a better version of the fucking flame sword, which calls into question why the fuck, once again, everybody gave such a fucking rat's ass about Toma's dumbass sword. Like, oh man, we've got to stop. Oh, the flame swordsman. He's gonna be the one that stops everything. He can slice fucking Megiddo from their fucking hosts. There's a motherfucker with a goddamn respawn sword out there that makes fire. What? You think that's less important than this?
Oh, no, I mean, to be fair, before that, they did left the sword in a pocket dimension, you know, right, or something before, right? So they weren't big concerned about it, right? Beforehand, like, because before they knew where the sword was. Oh, we just left in the pocket dimension, you know, right? Because Yuri sealed him or sealed Bach, and we don't have to worry about it, right?
I mean, yeah, but like, God damn it. Oh, this is... I mean, yeah, he sealed it in the pocket dimension, but also the wielder was sealed inside of the sword, so it's like... That didn't really accomplish anything, did it? All it took was somebody fucking opening up the door. Like the fucking Phantom Zone. Goddamn Young Justice-ass shit. Fuck, shit.
And that's what's happening right now with Young Justice, unironically.
Yeah, Young Justice. Hey, Legion of Superheroes, back at it again. Welcome to Saturday mornings on Kids WB. Anyway, fucking shit.
Yeah, boy, I'm really glad that they had to defer. It's been 8 years, right? When it looks like it's just been next week. Right?
I mean, well, I'll say this. Oh, right.
Because
I skipped over. I'm sorry. Hold on. I knew I was skipping over somebody. Okay. Kento decided to become the Alpha Chad and become a real boy and decided to get fucking engaged and have, like, a relationship and cut that shit out of his life. He just went, I'm going straight, real person, fuck this. I'm a normie now. What is this fucking Chunibyo-ass fucking swords and guild shit? Oh, that must be a prank number. I'm a normal boy.
He's leaving this organization he was raised in to be been raised since childhood to be a soldier. And it's like, oh, I don't want to.
Well, yeah, look, when you're raised as a child soldier, not a child bride, you can do that, but pretty easily. But oh my fucking god!
I mean, you know, good on Kento.
The beginning of this movie.
Oh, the very beginning?
Is a fucking fire happening.
Right.
At Toma's bookstore. And a child, a maybe 4 or 5-year-old, screaming. And I, like, for the life of me, can't tell if he's, like, smiling or crying. It seems like a child having, like, a mental breakdown in the middle of, like, a grocery store. On the ground.
Oh, yeah, they just chose this child actor to scream, right? It's pretty
fun. You can't do much with, like, kid actors in general, so...
Oh, yes, you can. But... Wait. If I learned anything, right? If you have a whip, right, and tell me that
oh my god,
you can do anything, all right? Hey, you're gonna put this iPhone together, all right? I don't care what you say, all right? I don't care how you feel, all right? This iPhone needs to be made.
So long as they can get caught between the holes of the net, you can do whatever you want. Hey, they're not gonna make it to the ground.
Look, only a child's hand is small enough to pick up that diamond, all right?
Oh my god! Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Their hands are perfect for just getting to those into small little crevices for those diamonds. You know. Yeah.
That's right. But who else is gonna grab those diamonds? My fat American hands. It will never reach in. It's too fat from all the McDonald's I eat. All right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
So then it's followed by...
It's also followed by the worst transitioning shot I've ever seen, right?
Oh, yeah.
When he showed the photo, I know what they were trying to go for, but then they did a fucking edit, I was like, how did you fuck this? This is like the most the easiest shots to do. How the fuck...
But then we get these weird POV FPS shots of like, hey... what if you were the killer and you were going around the house and fucking gaslight? Boy, oh god, oh fuck, oh god, the show gaslighting. It's all. I'm getting PTSD from this fucking show. Saber's so fucking ridiculous. Like, if I hadn't started doing this shit, talking with you guys, I might have quit Kamen Rider. Like, this is almost Ghost level of infuriating. Of like, wow, you guys, is this really what we're doing? Like, this is so fucking stupid. Like,
and look, Tariq, look, remember, you're the one that wanted to join us, right?
I needed therapy. And I still do. That's the problem.
Yeah, Saber doesn't help. Saber doesn't help one's mental health.
But to be fair,
therapy
COVID doesn't help as well, you know, right? It turns out COVID affects a lot of production, you know, right?
I mean, yeah, it is one of those things of like, 01 really got fucked by COVID, but Saber's, I guess, re-strategizing with COVID was not the
entire
answer.
plot had to be changed because of COVID.
But it really was not a good answer. I'll say this, like, hey, look, does the Saber movie look good? Sure. Do they do the best with, like, the groundwork that's already been set with Saber? Yeah, I guess.
Dude, they ignore a lot of stuff that they established in Saber.
A lot of... Yeah, I'm just saying, like, a lot of shit just gets kind of, like, brushed over because it's like, well, it's been 8 years, so stuff has changed. It's like, okay, but how? And why? Like, this seems ridiculous.
Right? Like the fact that they said 8 years, it doesn't feel like anything, like outside of, like, the Kento fucking thing, right? Like, nothing feels relevant after 8 years.
I mean, Toma's stolen a child.
I mean, yeah,
and raised a child for the last 8 years.
Technically should be in a fucking magic CGI green screen world right now, looking at a flying whale and be like, cool.
Yeah, well, but he came back at the end.
Yeah, but he said that he could travel in between, but he still has a responsibility, because the whole point of being the guardian of the Wonderworld was to make sure that, you don't
have to guard the Wonderworld if there's nothing to guard it from. It's fine.
Yeah. There's also
the fact just put one of those "be back in 5 months" sign on the front door, right?
Yeah.
Out for lunch.
He set up a ring. He set up a ring system at the door. Once the old bookstore burned down, the gateway to the Wonderworld burned down as well. So it doesn't matter. So like it's all good. No one can get there to ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
See, my problem, at least with, like, in terms of, like, progression, I mean, for the most part, it's like we're only really concerned with the main three, right? With like
yep.
Fucking I forgot. Hold on, Toma.
All right.
Rento,
okay.
Rintaro,
So
right?
no. Let me give. Oh, I'm sorry, William. Let me refresh your memory. All right. Rintaro Shindo is a blue boy who likes to get a chocolate cream pie but can never get it, and really wants to eat that, but he keeps getting denied it, like the little edge boy that he is. Also, potentially has some romantic interest in May, but mostly he's really in there for the chocolate cream pie. And that was raised by a cult, a sword-based cult, and then he just continues to think that the cult is everything in life, and he's got to follow the cult until he goes, maybe there's more things to life besides cult. Then there's Kento. I'm gonna say. Kento Dead Dad. Kento Dead Dad has a dead dad. Who died.
He was also raised in a cult.
Who was raised in a cult because his dad was part of the cult, and his dad was the wielder of a goddamn dimension-slashing, future-telling, fucking soul-possessing, and also Shadow Realm-holding sword. And after he died with his stupid, puny little Twinkie Winky Dink electro sword, by his dad's friend who took his dad's shadow possession fucking super sword, he went, boy, this shadow possession super sword is way fucking better than what my fucking stupid little electro sword is. It actually has a power-up form, so I'm gonna take this sword and not be the fucking stupid electro boy until I decide to go back to being electro boy for no goddamn reason at the end of the series to make myself considerably weaker when we are at the point when we actually need to fucking make results happen. Then there's fucking Kamiyama Toma, a man who has no memory of, like, the last 15 years, or of, like, before, or at least has no memory of his life before he was, like, 7 or 5 or whatever the fuck it is. And all he remembers is, like, a vague dream memory of a little girl getting sucked up into a fucking vortex and swallowed by screaming for his name, swallowed by the bubbles into another dimension, and then remembering a bunch of dudes in armor fucking fighting with swords. He's like, boy, that shit was crazy. And then he fucking realizes, oh, that wasn't a dream, and he summons the sword, and then he gets sucked into it, and he goes, boy, I should put down these fucking books, because I can stop being a nerd, and I can start being a sword guy, because everybody likes sword guys. There's nothing more safe and not a red flag than a guy that is really into books, and then goes, I'm gonna get really into fucking swords. And then he goes after that, and then he becomes God. And then he becomes God, and then the little girl shows up, and she goes, I'm not a little girl anymore. I mean, I was a little girl 5 seconds ago, but I chose to be a big girl now. And that's not something that we should ever look into and think about and, like, worry about. And you don't have to worry about the implications of that. And it's okay that you're a 24-year-old man hugging a, like, 7-year-old girl. That's fine. Nobody needs to worry about that. It's all good. And he goes, yeah, I think that's fine. And then she becomes, like, a 24-year-old woman, and he goes, yep, I'm still fine with this. It's all good. But anyway, I'm gonna go die now and go become god of the fucking imagination land.
Dies and becomes a book that he only ever uses once after that.
And I'm gonna go into imagination land, and fucking imagination land myself.
Then I'm just gonna come back, right? And so the best part is right. So the fact that he comes back, almost like he just like completely just ignore the fact that he has magical responsibility of being like the gatekeeper or whatever the fuck now, right? It's just like, I'm just gonna live here, right? Also, by the way, I keep forgetting that the guy we see throughout the movie is Toma because he doesn't wear the stupid outfits that Toma wears.
He's honestly, he wears less hats than he's ever worn before.
Right, and I kept confusing, like, who the fuck is this character? Like, literally, pretty much every other scene, every time we come back to Toma and Rika, I'm like, who the fuck is this character? I kept forgetting that was Toma. Unironically.
Yeah, his hair looks better. His hair's got like a better cut. Like he's not wearing a stupid hat. He's not wearing his stupid pants.
Because I like the other characters. I like Rachel, who just kept wearing his stupid outfit.
Well, but like that's a uniform, right?
But
Kento has glasses all of a sudden.
At the end of the series, right? He got a regular outfit at the end of the series, right?
Not really. He went because it was like sort
of.
No.
Wait, Kento got a new
outfit. That's that. Kento got a real outfit, but Rintaro was like, we're gonna like. He and the Shindai twins were like, all right, we're gonna form like a council system instead of like fucking just
yeah.
Like,
we'll keep.
Maybe we don't just focus on like one authoritarian despot like to rule us all.
They kept their outfit. I kept forgetting that this was Toma throughout the entire movie, which is real funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh god.
Yeah. My thing though is like in terms of like progression, like I mean Kento's got like probably the most well, sort of, because he also got Toma who's like, hey, I'm a father now, right? My issue was just like literally the fact that like
he's a kidnapper.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, that's character progression, okay? He got it. He has his own arc about that, right, in this fucking movie. My thing though,
look, he went from kidnapping little girls to kidnapping little boys. You know, that's a progression.
No. He rescued. Master Logos was kidnapping little girls.
No, yeah. You see, he used to defeat the abductors, but now he has become the abductor himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see,
you were the chosen one. You weren't supposed to join the abductors.
Exactly.
You were supposed to stop them. Yeah.
My thing is the fact that like the whole Mei Rintaro thing. Literally nothing happens between those two, dude.
It's funny as fuck. What
the fuck, dude?
In the 8 years since then, apparently, like, Rintaro has been still, like, just an idiot about it. And, like, Mei, at this point, clearly has some kind of, like, emotions for him that she's expressing. Like, it's... Everybody else knows it. But, like, they're just like, Jesus Christ, Rentaro, fucking get your shit together. This is, again, what happens when you're dealing with a fucking person that's only into fucking swords. Like
when you're
Jesus
when you've only been raised into a cult and you don't know anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
Honestly, it's just, it's like nothing. I'm so annoyed, like... They were teasing that thing for so long since the beginning of the fucking series, right?
Yeah.
And then we
do you want to eat my cream pie?
Yeah, yeah, and then it's just like nothing. Something kind of happens at the end when it doesn't.
It's so funny how the
just...
only character that gets like a romantic, like a somewhat resolved romantic subplot is Kento, right?
Yeah.
In this fucking spin-off movie.
I mean, okay, the Kento of it all is like, it's not even clear what Kento really does, right? Like, what job does Kento have?
Oh,
like,
I thought
in
he was
I
thought he was a translator, right? That's what it
I
seemed to imply.
did not gather that.
Because it's just like, if he was an editor, then I feel like he wouldn't have been working at his home, right? Because it'd be like similar to Mei, because they all work in an office. That's where they edit and shit, right? Or something like that. And I figure if he wants to be an editor, he'd be like with Mei, working with her, right? So I figure of all the book related stuff, if he's not an author himself, it would be like translator. Is the only thing that
he could just be a trophy husband. I don't know. Like, what the fuck kind of marketable skills do you think Kento... Again, this is why I describe Kento as also raised by a cult, but he has like a dead dad. Like there's no... Yes. Yeah, like there's no sign that like Kento like went to school, had a normal life, did normal things, learned normal things. Like, all of a sudden we're just like, oh yeah, Kento has it. Like, you guys should really do like what Kento and Yuina did and like get engaged and have fun. It's like, Kento, what is Kento doing? I get that he has glasses. Glasses does not mean that you have a job. I regret to inform you. I have been there. But glasses do not mean that you have a job, let alone that you're smart. Like, that's it. Like, all of a sudden, Kento has glasses, which I will also say has never been established before. Never wore glasses in the regular show.
Within the 8 years since Kento has developed eye problems, apparently.
Yeah, within the last 8 years, he's developed
all those nightmares he had from the nightmares, or has finally started to affect his vision and his brain. You know, right?
So all those visions of the future fucked up his fucking eyes.
Yeah, his eyes were just.
He finally developed like cancer or something. Like
his eyes were just going all over. His eyes were just going all over the place, like a fucking like fucking oh fuck, what is it? Paranoia agent, like fucking fisheye lens, like you're just fucking looking all over the place, like fucking freaking out, like boggle, like your eyes are bulging out of your fucking sockets.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's no fucking reason to believe that, like, Kenta... Like, there's so much of this that is, like... If this was based on a different series, it could work. Like, they could... like, if we had established before, like, Kento's personal aspirations and, like, interests and, like, fields of study, things that he knows about, I could believe, like, okay, cool, he's established, like, his life odd, doing the thing that he did. But this is less than when, like, for example, just to make a comparison, right? In JoJo's Part 4, all of a sudden they just go, yeah, Jotaro, he just is a marine biologist. And it's like, where the fuck did that come from? Right? Like, it's just like, I mean, I guess, sure, we'll take that, fine. But fucking Kento's just like, he's got a fiance now. He lives a nice life in a comfy apartment. It's like, how? It's like, don't worry about it. It's like, what the fuck do you mean, don't worry about it? This man was fucking fighting against the forces of evil and, like, had no fucking, like, actual education that we know of. Where the fuck is this coming from? Like, it's so out of left field. It's fucking wild. But speaking of JoJo's, again, the opening part is just going around and fucking Rohan Kishiribeing everybody, fucking last arc of Bleach, just going in around and fucking with memories and taking pages out and going, nope, scribble that out, erase that, rewrite that. Oh, damn, they've really changed everything around here.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Christ. The amount of JoJo references that could be made simply from Saber alone is too much.
Yeah, no. Also, I think it's more funny how Toad's like the worst parent ever, because in the 8 years, they haven't fucking investigated this fire or this kid, right?
They're like, boy, I wonder why that fire happened.
Yeah, like, they didn't try to take this kid. Wait, do you think the reason why they haven't taken this kid to counseling or therapy, right? Because it's always like this kid that's like PTSD, right? It's the fact that he'll get caught. Right, from like, ooh, hey, where'd you get this kid? This kid is probably not your...
He probably hasn't officially adopted him since he ran away from the orphanage.
He's had him for 8 years! What do you mean he just fucking...
No, the kid ran away from the orphanage. Toma decided
this boy is... The kid gets to go to school?
Yeah, but you know what? Nobody questioned it. He's like, this boy is mine. And they're like, oh, do you have any papers? And then, with the power of God, it's like, forget about it. It's like, all right, yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, hey, we also meet our first movie, Miyami, I believe is his character's name. Miyami. Yeah, hey, Toma's childhood best friend from the
that's been here the entire time.
He's been here.
Right. I just really want to say the other thing, like, I was making things about JoJo's, but I also threw this in about Bleach. This literally just feels like the Fullbring arc of Bleach, where the main enemy is just gaslighting, where the fucking Tsukishima, I think, is his name, where he just has like a Fullbring power of like, I have a book and it turns into I have a bookmark and it turns into a sword, and also that sword can cut open your soul and then rewrite your soul, and now I've been your best friend forever, and I've always been here all the time. And it's
also,
like, we've done this. We did this. We did this 10 years ago, and fucking Bleach is about to come back in like October. You can't do this. You can't do this. This is fucking stupid.
Wait, we're having more Bleach now? The fuck?
You haven't seen the Bleach 1,000-Year War trailer? It's fucking awesome,
dude.
It fucking rocks, man. Yo, the 1,000-Year War trailer fucking slaps like shit.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah. Also, it's real funny how it's always like they didn't get the child actors back that played young Toma and Keto, so they got like completely new kids.
Yeah, they were like,
question like, where does this take place within Toma and Keto's childhood, right? Like,
do you think that he overwrote like? That he
overwrote Luna from
that he was the Luna of the...
I could see that, but they don't make it a
That's what I was thinking it was at first. I was like, oh, is he supposed to be Luna now? Because I don't...
Yeah, I don't know that I like that. Right? They seem to imply that too, right? Because when Toma's like... When he's thinking back on that memory, and he's like, wait, what? And then, he has that whole bit, and we're like, oh, is this a Luna thing? Did he just... do the overwrite memory thing, you kind of...
Also, for a show that is very focused on the MacGuffin of Luna, they don't give a shit about Luna.
Oh, yeah, it was real funny.
Well, to be fair, they fucked up their own MacGuffin.
She's a book. She's a book. She can't come back, right? It's not like Toma can use her god powers to free her spirit from the book that she sacrificed her life for,
Yeah,
right?
She's a book. There's no way that she could come back except for disaster,
right?
Balked. Fucking
Bach was sealed in a sword, right? If they sealed Luna's spirit...
Yeah, but he was sealed in the sword and then sealed in a book. Because I'm pretty sure that, like, when fucking Master Logos pulled him out of the fucking sealed dimension, he pulled him out of a book.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just funny how they just had two completely new child actors play Kento and Toma, because they couldn't get those kids back. Right?
Yeah, hey, they grew up. Also, boy, I forgot. Also, hey, boy, the twins got, or at least the siblings got new haircuts and a like weird facial hair.
Oh yeah, no. Hey, I think they got
both
the best.
Both twins got facial hair. Yes.
I think.
Whoa! I didn't say that.
That's why I heard that sentence entirely. It's just, I thought you were saying both of them had it. It's like the twins got haircuts and facial hair. That's what I heard. That's all I'm saying. But
look, as much as people simp for Rika Shindai, hey, she looks really good with short hair. All right.
Yeah.
And so does Ryoga. Look, is
I mean,
better.
their facial hair doesn't look bad on him.
Yeah, both of these characters literally has the best quote-unquote grow-up after 8 years, when it's obvious that both of these actors has grown hair for, like, other projects or cut their hair for, and they can't get, and they're like, oh boy, we can't have you guys shave all this, and their contracts out, you cannot have these actors shave, you cannot have Ryoga's actor shave off his facial hair, and you cannot have, Rika's actress grow her hair back because they have bigger projects now, right?
Yeah, they have things that they're actually doing that are important.
Yeah, it's real funny. Well. Yeah, it's real funny how that happens, right? Oh yeah, and then we cut to Kanto's and his fucking hey he fucking he wears a turtleneck or something now, I guess. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he talks about how much he loves Aladdin and he loves 1,001 Nights, you know.
Yeah.
Also, what a way to pick up a girl, right? Just like just like the one thing that's basically describes your whole entire like power set.
Personality.
Personality too. Yes.
No,
well.
I mean no power set. I mean that makes sense.
I mean
right.
Yeah. I mean
it's one of those like, oh wow, the one book that oops, did I drop my super special book that's all about me and the things that I did? Oopsie.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, Aladdin. Hey, it's the same thing that I do with Yu-Gi-Oh! Where I show up into a party and start shuffling my cards and go, oh man, I'm just shuffling. It sure would be a shame if somebody wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With me. Hey, it worked for me in college and it worked for me fucking in California. So it's so far I've got a pretty.
Oh no, didn't your cousin's friends have real decks though and everything?
Oh, that got real. It got real dicey. I almost lost to a Raid Raptor Blackwing deck that I was like, boy, I was not expecting you to try as hard as you did, but I still won.
Okay,
it was just like, oh, you guys have actually a lot more like skill here than I thought. Good thing I also brought my Phantom Knights in case I actually need to like defend my honor.
Good thing indeed. But
anyway,
boy, there's a lot of stuff in this movie that are really irrelevant, right? So I'm just gonna talk about the important part of when they get attacked by Faucian now, right? Hey, look, it's a repaint Faucian suit, and it looks really.
Oh,
this suit looks. I don't think this suit.
No. Is it a repaint of Falchion? I thought it was a repaint of Primitive Dragon.
Nope. What is it? Fucking.
Isn't this chest piece Primitive Dragon?
No, this is all Falchion.
Hold on, I gotta look at what Falchion looked like.
I think this is all repaint Falchion.
Okay, hold on.
Does
Falchion have the like claw chest piece?
Yes. I don't think that part he had. I know the shoulder thing.
Alright, I'm going to
this suit isn't bad per se. I think just the fact that it's wielding the Void Sword makes it look really bad. Right? Because the orange makes no sense anywhere on this suit.
No, it's not just Falchion. It's not just Falchion.
Oh, is it not just Falchion?
If you look at so I'm looking at Falchion's here. Let's see. I'm gonna pull this up for comparison. Keep talking. I'll show you what I'm talking about.
I don't think this suit looks really. The orange really clashes with the suit, right? So it makes the suit looks really bad. I think the suit looks fine, but the fact that he's wielding the Faucian sword makes it look real bad.
It feels like its own unique shit.
Oh, sorry. No. I'm sorry. I was thinking. No. Yes. This is a Yes. The fucking Mume Ken the Void Sword stuff. Yes, that is a Falchion repaint. I'm thinking of when we get to Kento.
I know Kento is a repaint. Right? Yeah. Well, this suit looks good, but it really clashes the fact that he's wielding the Mume sword, right? Because it's orange and there's no orange.
So white and black, and then it's just
like if they put because there's like this random blue shade on the eyes that makes no sense. Like if the eyes was orange, right? This suit would have at least thematically make more sense, but it looks really bad how there's just like this random black and white suit with blue highlights, and then he's just wielding an orange sword, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. It just clashes a lot. It's just like.
Right. Yeah, but anyway, he attacks a small. He tries to kidnap a small child, right? And Toma gets his ass canned to him real easily. It turns out.
Yeah, because hey, stay strapped, open carry.
Yeah, he does. And turns out this happens when you no longer carry your giant anime sword with you and everything, right? And then we're trying to find out, hey, why's with this Faucian going after this kid? but he's actually going after the dog.
Yeah,
so
I'll
what's
kill.
Up with
I'll
that?
get and your little dog too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's ridiculous that like it all of a sudden it's like, you know what? If I can't kill this kid, I'll kill this fucking dog. The amount of times that I went, are they about to kill a fucking dog? Like, I mean, they can do that. I'm not gonna fucking like stop them, like or complain.
They can get away with stuff now.
But like Jesus, like
Then Ren and the Shindai twin goes missing, and people can't remember who they are.
Yeah,
right.
Who? Shindai twins? Who? Which, to be fair, hey, you're better for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so everyone has to be like, uh-oh, hey, be careful. Someone's hunting out the sword, the members of the sword and everything, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Someone's hunting us down within our organization, right? So there's a Ritro and Boy, I was gonna say Daiji, but I realized no, it's not Tetsuo gets attacked, right? By presumably who we assume is the same one. You know, the same guy that attacked earlier, but he was like, oh, but he's too fast for everyone. He's too fast.
Never catch him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they just wipe Tetsuo out of the show, out of the movie, and Yuri too somehow.
Yeah, it's honestly
really confused about how this thing really works, right?
It's a really boy, hey William. Can't wait to have you back into Revice, because this is exactly what we're talking about with Revice, where it's like, I erased, like, people's memories of you, and that somehow has erased all history of you going back to, like, photos and shit. It is truly, like, some JoJo's level, rewriting.
So he erases them from Rintro's memory, and then Tetsuo, Sophia, Yuri, they all disappear. I was like, That's not how this works.
No, that's how it works. Well, I think he was erasing all of them from his memory. But that still doesn't make it work like that, because it's just...
Yeah, right? No, because what about May and Toma, their memories of those characters?
He's just erasing shit like a fucking goddamn, like, paper shredder, just getting rid of everything.
Mm-hmm, right. Yeah, then we find out,
It also brings to mind the fact that, like, Ren... His name is Ren, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's been traveling around the world, right? So I kind of assume people would...
That he would have more connections than, like...
Yeah, even if...
Yeah, but you also have to think about who Ren is, who is just an asshole. So, like, not that many people want to remember him.
That's also
right. They just assume it's just a homeless guy begging for food. Right? That's what he really is, you know? He's just a homeless guy begging for food, right?
That is...
He just wants to get that... He just wants to get that last slurp from the fucking ramen bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, then we find out, oh, hey, this is Rintro's dad, right?
Yeah,
hey, look, it's me, your dad.
I guess.
Which is the most...
Your real dad. I am your real dad.
We're talking about things that came out of left field. That was the most random bullshit I've ever
seen. Look. The sort of logos never told you what happened to your father already.
I mean, it was really like... I almost stopped there and I was like, well, that's the meme, right? It's fucking...
Even though... Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, hold on. So this is what I'm talking about. Alright, just for later, this is what I'm talking about, so you can look at it.
Right?
It's really... like... it's like beat for beat.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Anyway, yeah. All of a sudden...
funny, right? Because they established within the main show that Richard was an orphan, right?
Yeah, doesn't know who his dad is.
He doesn't even know who his mother is, right? Or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've never... The thing is, we barely established any discussion about people's, like, actual families. The thing is, again, going back to it, is, like, there were so many fucking characters. We couldn't get a second to fucking have this, and we spent all of the fucking, like, supplemental media, instead of something like, for example, Revice Dear Gaga, right? And, Veil, like, Legacy, whatever shit. Like, instead of establishing backstory and, like, talking about other characters, it was mostly used to, like, fill in the gaps in the main story that they didn't have time, or they, like, didn't think was necessary, but actually definitely was necessary to, like, explain and, like, elucidate on. This is just more of that, where it's like, I am your father. It's like,
Yeah,
you are.
And we have to take it at face
value.
There's
a great point. I will say the point when he first says that he's his father, and then he calls him a liar, and he's like, "I'll give you a couple of days to think about it," and he goes, "You're a liar," and then like it cuts to like the shot that they have it where he says that he's a liar, and then his dad like refutes it back. Is just like very much in the same way of like, "You're lying," and someone already walking away from the conversation going, "I'm not, shut the fuck up, I'll talk to you later, like, I'm done with this conversation." Like, his dad has already quit the fucking, like, he has logged out of the call. He is done with this shit. And he's like, "I'll talk to you tomorrow." That is the exact energy that is going on there.
This is true, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but it's just, I mean, even if he is like the weakest introduction into like Rintaro's fucking thing, I legitimately thought like with like this whole thing was gonna be an exploration about like how, because it was kind of what's implied with the first two with what's it called, fucking, what's the word I'm looking for?
Boy, yeah, I can.
Only
God can help you.
No, because the thing is with Toma kind of feels separate and doesn't feel connected, or at least with the themes of the other two of Kento and Rintaro about this whole thing about like, hey, all this shit you were doing where you were all heroes,
none of the three interact with each other actually, except for the one point where both Gaslit Rintaro and Gaslit Kento interact with each other.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking more on the fact that like where, they were talking about the whole, even if they were heroes, people did die in the background, you know? And so I always thought that, like, well, first off, Rintaro and his fucking father, while it does add to the theme, well, at least it does add to it, right? It's kind of the weakest, if only because of like their connection with each other. But like Kento, Kento's whole thing was actually like probably the strongest story beat.
Oh yeah, it was definitely the strongest story. Like Kento, like, so I guess to kind of divide it into three storylines, right? So this movie breaks down into 3 points. The trio of sin, woo, all right?
Yeah.
It's basically that 3 different people that were affected by their activities as Kamen Riders choose revenge. And there's a mystery on, like, how are the 3 people with the same sword and the same, like, book and the same transformation?
In these three stories, right?
Yeah. But, like, for Toma, it's Mystery Man trying to kill his, like, stolen son and stolen dog. And then for Kento, it's, I finally have a peaceful life with, like, a peaceful wife. Why would anybody want to ruin that for me? And for Rintaro, it's like, I have a dad, and he's like, yeah, I'm your dad, and also, you've been a bad boy, time for your spanking. Like, that's pretty much like those are the 3 avenues that it goes for.
Right, it's almost as if this was originally developed to be a center of one character in the story before they realized that they had to put in other character story for some reason.
Yeah.
Right?
And they realized that they didn't have enough airtime for, like, just to focus on one character's story.
So they have to put in these other 2 characters so they have them somewhat connected, right? Because Kento was trying to leave all. He's like, he left all this behind. He's like, ooh, I'm John Wicking this, you know? Like,
I'll say this, especially considering that I think what's he called? It's technically the Kamen Rider Falchion, but like, when Mamiya transforms, it's like Eternal Amazing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Amazing Siren, whatever the way it goes, right? It really makes me think of, like, Kamen Rider Eternal, where it's like... So Kamen Rider Eternal is from the Kamen Rider Double movie. Which is, like, it's another moment where we have, oh, this is a movie-exclusive, like, villain Kamen Rider. And usually you get one, right? You get one villain Kamen Rider that's, oh, they're so powerful. They're as powerful as the last boss. And they did that for this, except because of how, like, spread out this series is, how spread out, like, the narrative has been, they needed 3 for each of their, like, 3 protagonists because they could not decide on who to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, so fucking yeah. Rintaro's problem is daddy issues. Kento's issue.
Daddy issues, right?
Yeah. Kento's issue is my fiance still has feelings for her dead ex. And
then
Toma's is
that she's been revenging this the entire time,
which is a hell of a fucking twist.
It is
a hell of a fucking twist.
Mm-hmm.
And then Toma's is this very
very loose connection to this kid.
It's a very loose connection, and also
she doesn't really have one, right?
It's something. It's something that I felt was telegraphed from the very beginning, because immediately the dog was just like not to go easy on it, but just fucking the dog was mad dogging him. Like, it was looking at Mamiya the entire time, going.
Yeah.
And it's like, dog's kind of giving him, like, from a directorial standpoint, it's like, the giveaway is right there. The dog is clearly, like, sussing him out.
Right?
But
it's a pretty obvious hit, right? Like, you're not trying to foreshadow this hit, right? This is like a very obvious foreshadowing right now.
And especially when everything is, like, shot from, like, POV, like, first-person perspective, whenever it goes to, like, the supposed, like, suspect, right? It's like, well, clearly it's somebody that you're trying to hide the identity of. And it's like, so you don't feel like you can show it, unlike the other, like, with Rintaro's dad, quote-unquote, like, you felt okay with showing that as, like, a sort of, like, misdirection, but it's very clearly, like, there's something off about his, like, Toma's childhood friend that we've never met before.
That we never established before as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, at least they do somewhat give a good reasoning for both of the other two characters on their revenge plot. Like the dad's like, oh yeah, those, like, I mean, you know, it's technically both the same. Like, yeah, the organization is evil, right? But it's I mean, to be fair, it's sort of the same. They both have one revenge, right? Because Rinto's dad was fake revenge for his dead wife, while Kento's fake fiance wants fake revenge for her dead husband, right? So now she's right. I'm just read that they both just want fake revenge, right?
I gotta revisit the dad's subplot real quick because.
Yeah, no, it's like his wife died, like, or quote unquote Rinto's mom died.
No,
and that's why he wants revenge.
Okay, I didn't.
Wait, was that it?
I didn't catch that at all. Right?
No, it's more that it, at least, unless I'm missing something, he might have actually been Rintaro's dad.
Because what's being said here is just the fact he's like, oh yeah, I left you and your mom so I can.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. No, I was thinking of.
He was basically just walking. He's basically told her, I'm gonna go out for milk, and then never returned, right?
I'm gonna go out and do. I gotta work, babe. I'm gonna go out and.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and look and plan my revenge against the cult.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna slowly dismantle things and clean up the messes behind all of them.
And he basically. I mean, I guess that if anything, that was sort of implied too, but it was his reasoning is basically. He's basically Shiro from fucking Fate Stay Night, right? Except he's he's Archer, all right? Where he's just he's basically Archer, but like a weak version of Archer, and he's just kind of there to kind of like drive point about like the fact that like, hey, you guys kind of left a lot of people dead, and then that's basically Rintaro confronting that shit, right? Kento and the whole, and his fiance thing.
Yeah, his fiance was revenge. Yeah, that's right.
My thing with Toma though is like, even though it's like. They say kid from orphanage he raised, and then apparently his future son is like also there apparently rewriting. Like he's the cause of all this shit, right? Now
I like how I'm just looking at the wiki. Even in the wiki, they're going. He claims to be his father. Even the wiki doesn't feel confident enough to make it to put its reputation on the line to go. Yeah, he's definitely his dad.
Yeah, I mean, he's just
It's really bad because what's by the end, right? Because especially what's shown at the end with those two characters, right? Right, because the plot, the big twist of the movie, right, is that we found out that these are two characters that were created from the book where the fuck to have these subplots, and then we see at the end like, oh, okay, so what the fuck's the deal with these two characters, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's really weird how these two characters are being handled, right?
Yeah, but it's just, but the thing with okay, because here's what I was trying to go for with Toma, right? Because Toma has this whole Mamiya and Riku thing, right? Now, I thought like they were gonna go for the whole thing where Toma did like he had this whole thing like, oh, I was responsible for what happened to him, right? So I thought they were gonna go with this whole thing where like, oh yeah, I'm the reason his father died, and that's why I took him in, right? But they don't do that at all, right?
I mean,
and then so like the thing is, and it's kind of like, oh no, he just ran away from the orphanage and picked up a sword. So in with that, basically, Mamiya / Riku, whatever, the Riku piece is just an easier name, right?
Yeah.
He has no connection to the actions of everyone else, except for maybe the implication of the orphanage, right? But even even Riku doesn't really know what happened to his parents, supposedly, right? And it's kind of shown like it's this whole thing where like, oh, but my father was actually Toma, and so he only suffered because of my actions. But so while that's a twist where it's just like, all right, sure, which I'm like okay with, it has no real connection to what the other two subplots are.
Rum, please, can I get some more of the rum? William's describing the plot of this fucking stupid ass movie.
Why is the rum always gone?
It's not always gone. I'm not Johnny Depp.
Fine, you're not Amber Heard, so I'm gonna take this rum and
boy,
fucking drink it.
yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, I mean, do you want to say that on record for something?
I mean, I'm not Johnny Depp, and she's not Amber Heard. I'll say that on record.
These are factual
I
statements.
refuse to be. I'd rather be Winona Ryder.
You sure about that?
It's better than Amber Heard.
Well, that's true. A lot of things are better than Amber Heard. A lot of things are better than Johnny Depp.
Is there something I don't know about with Winona Ryder? Should I be worried?
You can Google it.
Okay,
I can Google it.
Okay, I guess we'll Google it.
No.
Anyway, keep describing the fucking goddamn.
Yeah, boy.
The Ouroboros of time loop. The Ouroboros of time loop bullshit, like memory use.
That bullshit. That whole thing is bullshit. I agree, but I was just kind of like that. Like, while that's the whole thing on its own, it's just like if it's so separated from what they were trying to tell us beforehand with the other two subplots that it's just like, why? Right? Like it would have been a lot more preferable if it was just the fact that Toma was responsible for his father's death and he felt responsible. And I don't know, maybe if you wanted to keep the time travel bullshit in, which is whatever, I guess.
Hey, remember in part 4 where they heavily implied that Josuke was his own hero, and he fucking pushed his mom out of the snow in the car?
Yeah, but they got rid of that subplot.
I'm just saying, it's the references.
Just... Oh no, for sure.
It keeps coming.
Yeah, I mean for sure. Didn't you know all of Saber is a JoJo's reference? I mean they were like the ultimate the reference that they could have gone for was killing the dog, but they just didn't have time to film it.
I mean, they could kick it. They could kick it.
They could
kick that dog in the paste.
Technically.
Yeah, hey, look. They already had to burn a bookstore. Could have thrown the dog's body in there as well, right?
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, like, fuck, dude. Just hear the dog fucking. Okay, no, never mind. I'm not going down. No. But the thing is, while the time travel I can kind of forgive. Right, I can, but the thing, like, it would have been better served if it just helped add to the themes of what we were facing beforehand. Is all I'm saying. So Toma is just the most random bullshit I've ever seen, and it's just annoys the shit out of me.
The explanation for all this stuff is still very bad and confusing at the end.
Like,
and
here's the thing, right?
It doesn't.
It was.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
No, just say what you're gonna say.
No, it's just it doesn't help with the fact that like the whole Phoenix sword just has this random bullshit, and it's just like you could have just had like a random book fall into somebody's lap, maybe by like one.
I mean, technically they did have a random book. A random different book showed up, and a person did a different transformation with the same sword, even though we've established that that's not a thing.
Yeah, it's just fucking why, but like. You didn't even need the fucking Void Sword at this. Just give him the book, whatever, right? But it's just.
Or just make a new sword. They could have just made a new sword.
Really could have. They really could have.
Maybe they could have shown the consequences of Toma of not doing his job, right? Of being the Wonder Guardian, right?
Yeah, and force him to have to go back to like the Wonder World.
Right? No, like made the subplot of like, hey, maybe you should take your job of being the Wonder Guardian because a new sword was magically born or some shit, and now you have to deal with this white repaint of the Faucian sword, right? There you go.
Yeah, but it's just the whole bag of nonsense with that shit. But like,
yeah,
Kento's is definitely the strongest. I wished we had. Yeah, I wish he was the focus.
And look. He has to break his promise. He has to go to his basement and take a sledgehammer to get his sword.
I'm thinking I'm back.
Right?
Even though the dog plot line is based around Toma.
But like, he has to go grab. I like how he just only grabs one book. It's the funniest part, right? Because let's be real, the difference between his Wonder combo and his one book are not that much. And I will just now that we're here, right, about Kento. So he definitely goes through like the biggest betrayal of like. Let's say maybe it hasn't been for the last full 8 years, but at least for some amount of years. He's been dating this woman, they've been going out, they got engaged, they've been having these moments, and it has essentially been her long con to betray him and kill him and erase him from the fucking, like, face of the earth in everybody's memories to kill him. And it gets revealed to him just by, like, he's also the only one that, like, has, like, gets even a sliver of a chance of, like, fighting against, his particular, like, repaint falchion.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so it's like, don't tell me that you're one of the repaint falchions, and she goes, I've hated you, I've never loved you, I've always hated you, all of this shit, and it's like, oh my god, Jesus Christ.
I've been playing the long con, right?
Yeah,
I'm like that shiny spy that pretended to be a woman for 20 years to get into the British secret.
No, it's more like, this isn't about being gone girl, this is about making you gone guy. Like, I'm just here to fucking erase you, like, bit by bit. So, like, that fight that happens where it's like, especially because he's like, hey, we could check out this church. Of course, it's the fucking one, like, church that Toei continues to come back to. But he's like, she's like, okay, I knew you'd come here to fight me. And it's like, oh god. And they fight, and then the power of fucking anime and Jesus compels Kento's book to finally evolve into a big book, just like Rintaro and Toma's. But they
got their power from other books, though, right?
No.
I've never done
This is how behind Kento is. You have to remember, the first super forms that Toma and Rintaro got was Rintaro becoming Dragon Knight, and Jesus fucking Christ, Toma becoming Dragon Knight, and Rintaro becoming Blastoise. The one where they fucking got the Dragon Knight big book, like the trifold books.
Yeah.
The one, and then the next evolution was Primitive Dragon / Elemental Dragon, or Elemental Primitive Dragon, and then fucking Lion Senki.
Yeah.
So it went from. They got 2 super forms. Rintaro got, Jesus fuck Christ, Kento got none other than his Wonder combo. So he has just now, at the end, mind you, at least 2 dozen episodes into fucking Revice by the time that this came out, he gets one big book to become the equivalent.
Yeah.
And all it is, as I've shown, as the court will see from my documents, is clearly just a golden repaint of Primitive Dragon.
Yep.
Like, you can look at it piece by piece and go, oh no. That's
right. And the best part is that for Keto, it's anime bullshit when he gets it right. Because at least with the others. Right, there was an in-universe explanation, right? Because the Premium Dragon was actually was the spirit of another book, but this book just magically shows up, right? Like, hey, yo, what's up?
Oh no, yeah, right? For sure. Because even Rintaro, when he got his transformation, he literally got a book from basically the ultimate.
Yeah, the Northern Base, Oh yeah, but here is the secret. Here is the hidden weapon of the Northern Base.
Yeah, Rintaro's was the section of the Wonder Book, that because they was split into 3. The section of the Wonder Book that the Northern Base had became Lion Senki.
Yeah.
For Elemental Dragon, it was like
it was the small
his whole fucking thing of like, hey, I gotta fucking make friends with this little kid. Once again, Saber and little kids don't want to get into that too much.
And boy, I never realized how many little kid subplots are in this. Jeez. I feel like there's a big problem.
It's all about befriending them and maybe adopting them and maybe taking them into your house and raising them and grooming them. I mean, what?
Yeah, but for Keto, it's really so I'm not sure I'm supposed to feel like Keto getting it, right? I'm glad that Keto got it, okay, but it's like, this is really bad.
It's such a fucking I
feel like
I'm gonna compare this.
They did not have a natural way to explain Keto getting.
I'll compare this to Build, right? So, Build was something where there were 4 main protagonist writers, I'll say. Eventually, some of them were anti-hero to an extent, but 4 main protagonist writers.
Who's the 4?
I'm counting Rogue.
Okay.
And Rogue is the most important one here for my example. When you get to Prime Rogue, it's not a reskin of something else. There are unique points there. There's an actual attempt at doing something. It's still Rogue. It's still Rogue using the build driver instead of the Splash driver or whatever. But it's a different it's different than what we've already seen before. There's a change. Same thing could be said with Grease's actual the movie full form
Perfect Kingdom, right? That has an actual explanation.
Yeah,
right.
But both of them have explanations and
they
good and unique.
Get it.
They're good and unique. They're their own thing. But this is very clearly aside from the helmet, we repainted the same thing and we gave a bullshit fucking reason to make it
we forgot to give Kento an upgrade form in the main show, so we got this right. If only he had some other symbolic sword or book, right?
That he could just use or learn to master,
to combine,
or maybe dual wield
with his fucking Espada book, right? Something that represents his life or involving his past that he could call upon the power of to transform with. If only something like that exists within his character, right? That he could have used, right? Because didn't he fucking use the Kamiya during the final battle or some shit? I'm pretty sure he does, right?
Nope.
Does he not?
I'm sorry. Do you not remember who uses fucking Kuriyami in the final battle?
But doesn't he momentarily use his Kuriyami?
Oh no. Somebody uses Kuriyami in the final battle.
I know Sophia uses, but
that's it.
Someone using two swords in the final battle?
She was the only one to use it, I think. Yeah.
She used it, and then the spirits of the dead previous users.
Yeah.
Kento's dad and fucking Daichi fucking show up and out of nowhere and fucking go, "Hey, you did a good job. You can kill them now."
They were trying to do this whole fucking Naruto bullshit. They were trying to.
Yeah, but anyway, it's really bad. Yeah, like I said, to be fair, rebates aren't really technically a bad thing, right?
I mean,
as long as it's done well.
Yeah, but that's the question. Is it done well? And the answer is, it's different enough, but not different enough that it's the biggest thing for me was the claw mark across the chest. The big ass claw that grips the Arabiana Knights chest is it makes no sense narratively for like all of them have themes. There's always okay, I understand why like Lion Senki has like a lion chest piece. I understand like the dragon shoulder piece. I understand like the random ass lamp and like flying carpet shit with fucking his like Espada's normal form. But all of a sudden he just gets like again, the more that you look at it, it's like bone motif and like claw motif and all this stuff, and it's like none of this works for what you're trying to like describe it as.
Yeah, I mean, God,
it's just the biggest like mistake in is that they could have given him like one that was more like it was like they could have done like they could have actually read 1,001 Nights and like actually added stuff to it, but instead they went, no, we'll just take this one fucking like piece that we already have and just repaint it. Like, and again, as you said, like repaints can be fine. In comparison, fucking whatever, Frozen Grease, whatever the fuck it was in Build, like it was clearly like a kit bash of fucking parts slapped together and then repainted. But it was a kit bash of parts and then it was repainted. This is like a 1-for-1 repaint. That's all it is.
Oh yeah.
And it's like
hey, by the way, speaking of a better version, here's a fan design where it's a little repaint, right?
Fuck, that looks cool.
Right? We're trying to guess where the left side's from, by the way. Right, because this is an actual repaint that someone did,
the
right?
Left side. Where do you mean his shoulder pauldron?
No, wait. Actually, hold on. Do you mean our left, his right?
No, our left, his right.
The horse.
Yeah.
The horse.
Yeah. Right. Do you think this horse that this guy did a fan art of, do you think this is a new prop or a repaint of a prop?
Well, if we're going by the discussion of repaints, I would assume repaint, right?
Yes, right. Because there was a horse. Because from this.
Yeah, there was the Pegasus one. That was part of Rintaro's Wonder Combo.
Yeah. Right. Right. Because if you look at the Arabian Night fucking book, hold on, I'm gonna post the Arabian Night book real quick. Hey, try to notice what do you see in this book? Right. This is the actual art.
Yeah, I would see the fucking horse. Yeah.
Yeah, this is an actual fucking. Like I said, this suit was like, I guess they just had an extra fucking mold of primitive dragon. I'm like, hey, what do we do with this extra mold, right? Because as you know, Willie, we talk about this, right? How when for production of shows like this, right, they don't just make one suit of armor, right? One suit, and then for the rest of the season, right? They make multiples of it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, for like different scenes, like some for photo ops, some for action scenes, some for still promote, like yada yada, right? Do you think they just had too many primitive dragon suits? They're like, fuck, what do you do with this last one? We can't destroy it. This costs money for the company, you know, right? So like, fuck it, let's just repaint this for the movie. Right?
Yeah, I can believe that.
It's fucking batshit though.
Right?
It's
right, because it's obviously they could have fucking, they wanted to, they could have made a good fucking repaint of for like Kanto's Arabian Night, right? But this just looks really dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest, especially considering the fact that I'm looking at the fan edit. You know?
Yeah, I mean the fan edit looks really clean. It's a really nice one.
It thematically makes so much sense.
Especially when you combine like the Kuriyami like colors with the Espada colors. It's like, oh, I get it. But that's not what happened.
Yeah.
We had a girl commit harakiri, seppuku, with a fucking sword, and then she disappeared because memories or whatever, and then Kento disappeared because memories or whatever. Also, we're kind of ignoring the fact that fucking Rintaro disappeared after he fucking killed his quote-unquote dad.
Oh yeah, I also thought,
there's so many things that are just batshit crazy happening. Like, this is something that it's so weird, right? Because it's almost like Kamen Rider Saber, the movie. The fucking Trio of Sin is fundamentally like the most concentrated, hyperbolic example of everything systematically wrong with Saber. Like, hey, there's a lot of good points here, and so many people just looking at it from afar could go, oh, I see some good points where you could go from there, and those are not the choices that they went with. And these are not, like, the character designs or character, like, narratives that they went with. And you just get... I mean... I guess, but, like, Jesus Christ, why the fuck are we doing this? Like, I mean, okay, you've got some production... Like, at least the Saber movie has better production value, but god damn. Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good, but like under the surface there are issues definitely.
There's a lot of issues, especially with the storyline. Because we're talking about how early, like, does Toma never interacts with Kento or Rinto at any point in this movie, right?
He feels kind of slapped on considering everything else, especially.
Like we were saying, it's almost like they planned this to be a movie based on one character originally before they realized, Rintaro
and Kento still have that one moment of interaction, and also I'll say this: when, like, technically, Mamiya brings up Rintaro and Kento to Mei while they're at Toma's house. But,
yeah, it's...
Also, hey, big thing about this movie, Toma has a house. Toma gets a new store and a new house. Like, an actual apartment. Like, real place.
He actually has a place to live, yeah.
We actually see a place where Toma can actually live for the first time in the entire fucking series.
God also, damn. I just realized that the comedic battle takes place in someone's backyard. Holy shit. I didn't realize that this area... I thought this was Ruji fighting in, like, a theme park or something, but now that I'm rewatching this...
It's the for whatever reason, the burned down house was changed into a fucking flower garden or something.
I don't know.
I guess. The backyard of someone else's house, because you can see a house before as they do a band. This looks like they're fighting in someone's...
You're talking about, like, how there's, like, another house in the background and shit?
Yeah, right? No, not the toy house. Not the toy Fisher Price
I know what you mean. Not the...
There's like an actual house in this. They're just fighting in someone's backyard, which is the funniest thing. Do you think the homeowners watching this like, hey, what the fuck's going on out there? You see this? There's two guys in a sword in costume fighting. There's a small child and a dog.
Honey, lock the door.
Hey, get the camera. We should record this. Hey.
World Star.
Yeah, right? It's real funny. Like, this is not even like a thematic location of the fight. They're just fighting some spec. I can't get over this shit. Because originally when I watched this, I thought they went to like a theme park or some shit, right? But no, this kid just went in someone's backyard to hide. And it's real fucking funny. Alright?
Yeah.
Then we get the big plot twist is Mamiya and everything. And then we found the bigger plot twist. It was him all along. He was the one that was going around.
I traveled through time.
Right, I was the one that was erasing everyone from his existence, you know?
God damn.
Right?
They just can't let these plots be simple.
Yeah, and then we get the bigger plot twist, right? It wasn't Mamiya. It's actually Riku the entire time.
Yeah, and then they did a whole fucking thing about, like, whatever, man. I don't care. It's annoying as shit because, like, again, Tomo's story doesn't really fucking have a point in comparison to the other two. And then you have, like, well, the whole time travel thing was like, and at least for me,
like
was
initially
mind
time travel.
Sort of, right? Because it's just like they do this whole thing where it's like, oh no, that this was actually me or some shit like that or whatever the fuck. I don't remember. It's like,
wait, was it time? I thought it was that when
it's a
Riku
bit of
touched
both.
The sword.
It's a bit of both because the thing is, well, sort of. Because the thing is, it was no wait. It was...
Because I thought the implication that they were going was that when Riku touched the sword, it created PTSD or some shit?
No,
it wasn't.
Riku was just dealing with PTSD the whole time.
It wasn't a PTSD thing. Like, I say time travel. It's only because it kind of feels like it by the end of it. Because the thing is, they had, like... Yeah, when he did touch the sword, it was a separation, like, of the two for some fucking reason, right?
Yeah, that's the weird part.
Yeah, that is definitely the weird part. My thing is, like him realizing that this was him the whole time and then going back, like, and to stop himself from actually causing all that fucking shit in the first place.
Oh yeah, no. The ending part is what got me, right? That's where this movie unironically lost me, right? Right?
Yeah, it just seems very overly
I was very confused by this ending.
Out of nowhere,
right?
And
because the big plot twist is that it's Riku. It was Riku, right? It turns out Riku was right. There can't be two Keyblade Master in this world, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think William established it like late into our Saber recordings where I was just going like I was losing it, and I just went on like a rant. I think it was about fucking saying that it's all the 6 samurai, and then he was like, "Oh, you mean this is Kingdom Hearts?" And I went, "Fuck, it's Kingdom Hearts."
It is Kingdom Hearts.
It's Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
They had something simple, but then they make it overly complicated by the end of it, you know.
Hey, but maybe they'll make it more clear in 4.
Yeah, like it's very fucking confusing how this ending, how this ending works, right? I did not understand what happens in this ending, right? When after we find out, Riku was the source of all this, right? It turns out Mamiya's just like a split, alternate self of him, right? Then they make up, right? Then the book travels back in time in the spirit of Mamiya. It's like, hey, don't touch this magic sword.
What also doesn't make sense is the fact that Mamiya, is an adult by the time everyone gets back, because he's technically a child by that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, because it's not implied that, because from what it seems to me, right, it's, you get the whole, you get this whole thing with Toma. Hold on. Let me go from this in the beginning. Kid finds swords, supposedly
Yep. Kid finds sword. Sword splits off.
Back in time, right? So 8 years, year 0 for the movie's sake, right? Year 0, Kid finds swords, soul splits up, right? Then it seems to imply immediately afterwards that because for some fucking reason, in that moment, Kid, there's a fire at the store, and with that fire, Kid sees Toma, right? Future Toma, fighting or supposedly dying in front of him, right? And then past Toma, right, or year 0 Toma finds him, and then he's like, okay, I adopt this kid now, that's it.
Okay.
And he for some reason doesn't sees the fight in front of him.
All right. Well, I have the whiteboard out. I'm writing all this down.
No,
right?
you might legit need the whiteboard. 8 years happens, and then Riku.
This kid does not age within the 8 years, by the way.
No,
they never bring this up.
The kid sort of ages, but kind of doesn't, because even for as young as this kid might be,
how I can just sit back and let the chaos unfold and go, yes, William,
no, for sure.
Try to make sense of it. I've been ranting for so much.
I'm not trying to make sense
figure
of
it out. Figure
I'm
it out.
Trying to.
No, I just want to be the non-conspiratorial one for once. Go for it. Go for it. Solve the mystery.
I'm going for it. And so 8 years pass, and during those 8 years, Mamiya, or the traumatized soul part, who becomes physical for some fucking reason, decides after he has that memory, and he's like, it's because of the swordsman that my father is dead, right? And so for 8 years, basically gains the trust of everyone and goes on a whole, I'm gonna wipe everyone. So remember, also these two guys, here, have a copy of my book, go fuck around for a little bit, you don't really matter to me, right?
I'm gonna rewrite your memories now or something.
And for some reason, I guess they help around too or something, but it's not for the fiance doesn't. She's just there for Kento and Kento alone to fuck with, and whatever, right? They're not important. In those 8 years, he erases everyone's memories and is just working on trying to kill Toma, right? And so by the end of the movie, he fights Toma. It's revealed that he is in fact this half of the soul of basically Riku, in some weird Silent Hill fucking twist, right?
Okay, Silent Hill. Yep, everybody loves Silent Hill.
Yeah, that was 1 in 3. Anyway, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna get into that. And so he is, and then he finds out he is himself responsible for his own fucking trauma, right?
Yeah.
And so But like then there's this whole thing where it's like it's happening in the future, but for some reason I guess he has this memory of what I would assume should have happened in the past, but it didn't. But because it happened 8 years later, but some reason this memory carries on to his fucking past, right?
Right.
And so like, so then he decides, oh shit, I'm the reason for my own trauma 8 years later. So travels back in time through his own fucking soul, whatever the fuck magic, and decides to be like, hey kid, let's not pick up that sword.
Don't touch the sword, you know? Yeah. Let's create a new branch timeline, right?
Yeah, and so he basically erases that part of himself of that fucking trauma. And so, in doing so, erases all 8 years worth of fucking happenings, right? And so, like, the kid, like, back in time, the kid's like, I'm not gonna pick that sword up. He's still in front of Toma's house, and then it's just like, I guess he just fucks off, right? And then I guess Toma goes to his store and is like, it's not burnt down now. And then I guess lives on afterwards for some or whatever the fuck.
See, that's the problem with this.
And then there's the thing, but then there's the thing where like, okay, so he's still a child, and if he technically goes back, like, it could be a whole thing where he could be like, he could still be raised by Toma. But then it's just like, since that's erased, for some reason, the kid, now 8 years later, isn't the age that he's supposed to be. He's a fucking adult, you know? Just to add in that weird sense of fucking, like, bittersweetness to the fucking ending, because they did that at the end of the fucking movie, because they're trying to, again, to be like Kingdom Hearts or whatever fucking bullshit, right? And then it's just like, that doesn't make sense. Because for one thing, Toma should have no memory of this shit and should not, for no reason, feel melancholic whatsoever, right? And but for some reason does, and still has his memories, and it's just like, while his son is also is technically an adult, really should just be at the age of Riku, who's like, I guess maybe 11 or 12, right?
Yeah.
So, and then it's just like, so what's preventing him from still adopting this kid? Because he was basically still in the fucking orphanage, right? He should have magically jumped from like fucking 5 to fucking 30, you know? The whole thing with him being an adult was only needed so that you had this whole thing where he could, like, you know, gain people's trust and, you know, like, insert himself as being Toma's childhood friend.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's just like, what? Because it's not implied that it happened when he was a child. That whole thing was made up. We all acknowledge, even Toma acknowledges, that was, you fucked with my memory. You heavens doored me. So you, being my friend back, you didn't exist when I was a child. We all agreed. And I guess he does?
Gaslighting.
Because it's just like, what? And it's just like, I know you want this bittersweet ending, but by the logic by the barely logical events that you've made, this shouldn't be a thing. He shouldn't be an adult in the 8 years later segment of like.
Boy, I'm loving the fucking
part 2
mind fuck that it's doing to you, because, hey, William.
Yeah.
It hurts.
It does hurt.
It just hurts.
My head hurts, and I'm just like, this whole ending that you want for Toma makes no sense whatsoever, right?
Oh,
and
100%.
And really, it should have just served as a whole, like, if you wanted the time travel bit, just have it so that he came back from the future after realizing that Toma was in fact responsible for his father's death during the whole fucking series, and then, you know, but seeing that he is also become the villain that that he's basically sworn to fight, you know, after seeing how Riku reacts to how he's losing, how he reacts to Toma fucking dying in front of him, be like, shit, I probably shouldn't be continuing this cycle of fucking violence. And so, like, then decides, hey man,
but cycle of violence, what?
No, it's a cycle violence. It's a fucking Ouroboros eating its own ass.
No, yeah, because that's this whole thing where like while they were heroes, they were like, oh yeah, but they were still like, they couldn't save everyone, and these people are hurting and have no real way to direct that hurt, except that the swordsmen, who were in some way involved with their fucking hurt. It made sense with Rintaro, as loose as that fucking was. It definitely made sense with Kento, who really should have been like, this should have been his fucking movie. And honestly, I wanted to explore more of his fiance's character, because they really did her a disservice in the fact that, like, she's so, like, she's a complicated character who loves and hates Kento, right?
I love how William's getting faster.
And it's just I am getting into it because like she has this like those two had the best fucking story and the best possible fucking arc to explore this whole fucking shit, right? And really, Rintaro's and Toma's, if they wanted to put them in, should have served as a fucking complementary thing. They shouldn't have tried to make Toma like this whole big fucking thing where it doesn't serve any purpose or plot, because by the end of it, it doesn't go into the fucking themes itself, and the fucking ending doesn't make fucking sense at all for Toma. It's so fucking stupid. Oh my god. And it's just like, this whole time travel thing is, whatever, yeah.
William, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you like this movie?
So, look, basically, like, the movie in the beginning, I liked it, until I realized it was basically the series as a whole. Fucking again, alright? Where it's like, they seem to have some semblance of, oh yeah, it makes sense of how these things are going, but then they start to unravel it, and they start to make it even more fucking complicated, especially with fucking Toma, because, like, Rintaro and, like, Kento, blessedly simple. Blessedly fucking simple to get to the point of what they wanted to talk about. But then Toma comes in. Toma fucking comes in, and because he's the main character, they add this whole ridiculous fucking subplot of like fucking and it just like they add more and more to explain things. They want to do like they just like add this whole random power bullshit that makes no fucking sense. It's added in just so they can have a fucking plot point, but it doesn't make any logical sense of anything else, right? And then it's just like they like, I get what they want to go for, and it's like, and I kind of like what they want to go for, but everything that leads up to what they want to go for doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
Hey,
and so
William,
like,
do you want one little like piece of like extra little inflammatory stuff?
Yeah, sure.
Just like to really.
Give it to me right now.
So, Rentaro goes full Lion Senki. He gets his old crystallized form. He fights against his dead dad. Kento finally gets an upgrade form that's totally bullshit, and fights against his soon-to-be dead fiance.
Mm-hmm.
Where was Toma's power up
fucking form? Bro, you're right. Oh my god, he didn't even have a fucking power up.
Toma has 3 power-up forms.
No, yeah, he does.
He technically has 4.
One of them is Babylon.
If you count the Wonder Combo, he has 4. And he didn't use a single other book other than just
it's just
Brave Dragon.
Yeah, you're right, because there's this whole fucking thing, like, he's God. Why didn't he just whip that shit out? Like, I know they gave him this whole excuse of, like, I don't want to further traumatize
I don't want to further traumatize. Hey, like, you know what won't traumatize the child? If you use the star-spangled sword that you have.
Yeah, you know what, that too, but
show the kid the power of America, right?
Yeah, I have the power of anime and God on my side.
Yeah,
he is anime
let him know
and
that
God.
life could be much worse for him if he was in America, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, he could have solved this, like, initially I get it, right? Because it's just like this whole thing, like, he doesn't want to traumatize his kid, right? Who he's legitimately raised for 8 years, and I get that, right? But then, like, by the end of it, when he's fighting him and choosing his form, he should have just become God. Like, he could have, then he could have this whole different interaction where he's just like, of course, like, where he's like, of course my father's God, that kind of thing, or whatever the fuck bullshit.
Real quick, really, because I don't remember the finale of Saber.
Yeah.
Did they not put Kuriyami in a memorial spot or something?
I don't think they established what they did with both Kuriyami or the Phoenix Sword.
No, they implied that the Phoenix Sword was just missing by that point because they want to do the whole movie thing, which is
okay. But I don't think that they fully established that, like, they were doing anything like research on this dimension slashing sword or like whatever.
Right. Well, am I actually was it not a scene in the final episode where they just put the sword at like a tomb or something and said, all right, this is a memorial to Keto and...
I don't think that they did that. I don't think they did that. They might have, but I don't think they did.
Mm-hmm. Right. That was my problem. I think they chose the worst sword to use in this movie for a plot device. Right?
Yeah, it really seemed like
nothing about this sword makes sense. Right. I mean, we know what the Faucian sword could do, right? In terms of like, hey, you can come back to life. It's like the eternal life or some shit, right? But like nothing about the sword is fucking relevant in this movie other than the fact that it exists, and they forgot, and they have to, I guess, tie up loose end that they established within the show. Right?
Look, I'll tell you one thing that's relevant that goes all the way back to Kuriyami, all the way back to Kento, all the way back to this movie. All right. There's only one thing that's truly accurate about Saber as a whole and this movie.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, it's just I had to scroll up and not look at that, or
but also, did you zoom in on the small text?
It did.
Right? I feel like this movie could have been way better, or in terms of like stuff being explained. If this was the Kuriyami sword I was doing, that was behind the scene.
For
of all
some
this.
random future shit, yeah, or whatever. No, yes, no,
maybe I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, this movie is literally just a series all over again where you're initially into it, right? Some things are a little weird. Like,
there's good ideas being presented, but it's just badly executed.
Yeah, it's just,
right?
And then it's like, but as you get closer to the end, you're like, they just lost all sense of plot and reasoning, and so it doesn't fucking matter anymore. Especially with fucking Toma, because Toma is just the most egregious of this. Actually, it's literally because of Toma is why this movie it hurts itself. You know,
I don't know. I just want to talk about one of my favorite part of this movie. I think it's probably like my favorite scene. It's when both Riku and Mamima disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Going back to the timeline, and then Toma has his moment of peace. Then they both show up again and hug him. That's the funniest thing.
Yeah.
What was the whole point of showing them disappearing before? You could have just had them disappear as they hug him now. It was the funniest edit. I'm really sure they fucked up with like editing this scene, right? Like they forgot or they mis-sequenced the scene. But it was so fucking funny how you show both of them disappearing and returning to the original timeline, and then they just come up and hug Toma again.
Yep. Hey, we broke through the dimensions again. Don't worry about it, Dad. We could come back anytime. Never be safe. Never let your guard down.
Get over how fucking stupid, like all emotional impact that we had with like Riku and Mamiya, right? Like, oh yeah,
immediately wasted. Immediately gone.
Right? It was like the funniest thing. Because they just look at him all sad and happy as they disappear back into the timeline, and then they just come and hug Toma again.
Yeah, it's
I could actually re-edit the scene where the scene makes more sense, right? Because you just cut to them coming up to hug Toma, then you cut to them disappearing, and then you cut to Toma the back shot that they show by himself, right?
Yeah.
Like to show that is his reaction to them disappearing. What a fucking god awful editing sequence. But yeah, hey, everyone comes back or some shit, and Sophia says, "All right, we did it. We did it. Ukraine is safe or something. The coral reef is safe."
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever the fuck. Yeah, everything's back, right? And people are doing something. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care again.
It's just.
And then Kento picks up girls with books. You know, like
Yeah, like literally, this movie would have been fine if it was just Kento and an exploration of his relationship with his fiance and the consequence of his actions from the past. If they wanted to do that, honestly, it should have just either been Kento's fucking movie, or they should have just made Kento the focal point and had like Toma and like Rentaro serve as like to really add to the thematic element of like, oh yeah, you're heroes, but people still died, and that's still you're still kind of responsible for that, right? And and it should have gotten rid of the overcomplicatedness of fucking Toma's subplot and have it focus on like, if they wanted to do like keep Mamamiya as a character, then have it so that like he like again maybe he got like the time travel sword and then came back after realizing the whole like, oh yeah, you were responsible for my father's death. You may have raised me, but I also like hate you. But you raised me, that kind of thing, and focus on that, because again that would have helped serve maybe serve like the whole thing with Kento, with how his fiance loves and hates him, that kind of thing. Or something, or like maybe or preferably get Mamiya out of that fucking thing and have it focus on Toma and like and his relationship with his son and how he feels like guilty over the fact that he is responsible for his father's death, and then help with Kento with that reconciling with like like they both go through similar things, and then they would have had like a friendship talk, and then Kento goes off while like Toma's reassured of raising his child, and then fucks off for the rest of the movie, and we focus on Kento. That would have been better. It would have been a lot more preferable. But it's just they wanted to do some like, and I get what they want to go for, but with Toma and everything, but making him the main character of this movie and just didn't work, especially when you overcomplicate things.
No, having him tie everything off is like the worst thing about this movie.
Yeah, it's right? It serves nothing. Like again.
Yeah.
Kento.
Hey, at least the ending sequence is very well directed and very.
Hey, they got a little friends moment going on where everybody gets.
So that's how I know this movie definitely had a change in production when they just put Mamiya in the fucking end credit for no reason, right?
He's our friend now.
It's so funny how he just in this end credit, right, with them, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because it makes no sense for him to be here.
Yeah,
technically.
Technically, it really doesn't make sense.
Especially after I just did the whole here and not like Rintro's dad or the fiance, right? And have them all thematically connected. But it's just him in there, right? It's really fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely show. I like to think that they shot this ending sequence first, right? Mm-hmm. Before they went and produced the actual movie, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's really like this. This ending sequence is very well.
Oh no, for sure it is. It is fantastic.
The camera, you can really tell that they completely use a different camera for this ending sequence too. I think that's why. I think that the camera that they were using cost too much, and they got it out and they rented it out early in production, right?
Yeah.
It's by the time that they had to finish the movie, like, oh wait, this ending sequence makes no sense. But we already rented this expensive camera and shot the ending sequence. We have to use this. We can't let this go to waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, the movie is just.
All right, there we go.
The movie.
All right, so there we go. There we go. We can finally talk about the greatest Saber, everyone's the best Saber written media.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Is it the best? Yes. Is it still bad? Yes. Are we still in hell? Yes. Is COVID still a thing? Yes.
I like that a lot. But I guess I guess that's it on our thoughts.
Yeah, that's it. I really have nothing else to say. Like I said, I
just hope that God puts me down like I deserve.
Hey, look. We're almost done, right? Look. We just have to power this out, and we can finally escape the Saber hellhole. All right.
Until like maybe it can.
Boy,
optimistically, if we're still doing this, 10 years later, they'll do a reunion movie or some shit.
Fuck. Boy, I don't think Saber. Look. I think. Look. They already got through their contract of the obligatory post Saber movie, right? I don't think we're gonna get another Saber media after this, right?
Who knows? But I would very much hope that we do not get any more Saber, honestly.
All right, hey look. I can't wait to see what suit they repaint next, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see the next repaint suit for this, right?
I mean, wait until I'm telling you, wait until May gets her Kamen Rider Bubble Sword form, and it's just a repaint of fucking goddamn Caliber.
God, dude.
And it's all in pink and purple because they don't care about women. Suck. There goes Saber.
Hey, look. What would be more insulting? Giving a female Kamen Rider a repaint of another rider suit, or giving a female rider a repaint of a weapon that another female rider used 2 seasons ago?
I'm gonna be honest. At least she had a unique design, so I'm gonna go with the repaint of a form is more insulting.
All right, we're ending this. Hey, look, stay tuned for the next Saber. As we talk about Kamen Rider Saber, was it? There's how many sword users was there? 12? How many sword users?
Like 13 or something.
How many left were in the organization? There's what? Let's see. 3, 2,
slipped into
6,
my seat so far down.
7.
Oh god, I'm trapped.
Wait into the hexagon of deeper sins. All right.
The hexagon of deeper sins.
I wish you guys could see how far down in my chair I've sunken, but it's very bad. We've got to stop because I'm in danger.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. We're ending this. All right. That's it. Coronavirus is no thing. Wash your hands and wear a mask. Get your shots. The booster's a thing now. Okay. Thanks. Bye.